I don't think it's been quick. It's been a process. I think things are going really good. It's great to have all the returners back. I think we just lost one player, so we have pretty much a bulk of all our scoring and defense, and actually pretty much the returners are doing really, really well. So practice is going really well. Had a great summer. Had an opportunity to go to Costa Rica and build some chemistry, and I call it a real team now. It's part of being on a team, and then there's part of being part of a team. And I think we have that. I know we have that team that everybody's part of. So we're excited about the opportunities. We built some great chemistry in our trip, and we saw some scoring. I know the defense in some of the different countries aren't as good as in the United States, but we scored in the 90s in two of the games and kept them into the low 30s and 40s. So I feel pretty confident about our team. It's all about being available and staying healthy, I think, for us. So fast and furious. Before we know it, we'll be in the pre-conference season, and then before you know it, then Christmas comes around and we get ready to get started.
Well, Coach, you got a lot of players that are returning, so it's a good amount of experience. Just how much excitement does that bring about, knowing that you have a lot of players have potential under their belt to know what you want in your system and to be able to build off that?
I think it makes you more confident as a coach. The confidence is pretty high for us right now. Our kids are really believing in themselves and one another, and I think that's a big part of being a really good team. The last time I can remember that it was like that in 21, I thought we had some kids. It wasn't just about talent. It was about their work ethic and how they believed in one another. So you get that same feeling, We got some really, really, and great leaders, We talk about being a player-led team, and, we're working toward that. And it's exciting to see those type of kids show up and actually represent this university, not just on the court, but in the community. Some of the things that these kids do, and actually they teach me to become a better person too. So it works hand in hand. It's been a great experience so far, and we just got to keep on working toward it. And I think they're as excited as they've ever been to be part of Raging Cajun basketball, women's basketball.
You've got 11 out of 13 basically back, plus you're adding Brandy in. Does that create almost a different kind of challenge for you?
Not really. I love the fact that what's going on. It's like, some people say, well, you need to be uncomfortable to be your best, but I'm really comfortable with seeing Brandy knocking down threes, and you got Lene coming back. You got really some top scorers coming back that we didn't have in the last couple of years. So when you start to bring them back healthy and they look really good, I think that's going to be a big plus. You don't even talk about Mariah Stewart. Wasn't a big factor last year. She's a lot better this year. So we got some kids that didn't contribute as much last year are ready to contribute this year, and the returners. A lot of the returners. Like I said, we're not even talking about Tamara Johnson. Tamara Johnson stepped up her game. She's a legit 6-foot guard right now that can. She's shooting it really well, and she can defend. She played 31 minutes a game last year. So there's so many positives from them. Freshmen, you got Jasmine Matthews coming in. She's a big-time scorer. And, she's got some work on the defense. But so we got some, Ashton Jones played maybe 10 minutes a game last year, and she looks, if we need to play small ball and we want to play a little bit faster, she'll be a big part of that. So there's a lot of different players that are going to be able to contribute, I think, to the pressing that we really want to do, and some of the things that we have been talking about for quite a few years. And now I think I call it an army. We have 17 kids out right now playing for us, so it's the baseline's not big enough.
What you mentioned about Tamara, like having the ability to score, being able to do things on the court. Just what is the next step for her in your mind? to being a great player and kind of being the leader of this team? So
I think she just has to be Tamara. Tamara is such a great person. If you ever get to know her, man, I mean, she's the type of kid you want 10 of. She's so coachable. I mean, there's never really an argument about what we're doing or what we want her to do for us. I think her showing up, I think y'all going to see a better rebounder this year. She's a little bit stronger. I think you're going to see a better shooter this year, a more confident shooter. And her defense has always been, really, really good. So, I mean, she brings the complete package, I think. I think just for her, I think the biggest thing is going to be her confidence. If she can kind of get some confidence going and show how good she really is.
Coach, I think the Sun Belt, the other schools maybe overlooked you guys a little bit with regards to the preseason rankings. Do you feel like there's a little chip on the shoulder type of attitude? Because, like you said, you got some experience coming back. It seems like they don't know what you have yet.
Well, and I mean, the same thing for them too. They're bringing in people that we don't really know too much about, transfers and stuff like that. And you got to put that together, the pieces together. The thing that I feel comfortable, our kids feel that there's our kids have a chip on their shoulder. I mean, it's just a preseason poll, but they really get into it and they're like, man, Coach, I think we could be really, really good, or be one of the top teams in the league. But going into it, you kind of it's I don't know, it kind of works both ways, when you're talking about being rated a little bit lower because of if you look at the games we had last year that we lost, and I guess maybe they don't really look at it, but man, we lost 4 games with a lead with less than 10 seconds left, and we're missing free throws. And that was the thing that I looked at a while ago, right before. I'm not a big analytic type guy. I want to play by feel and what we just play hard, and you're playing hard and the best things happen. But I was looking at our free throw percentage last year, and it was 63%. You're going to lose a lot of games shooting 63%. Man, we were in so many of the conference games. We could have easily been 14-4, instead of 10-8. So that's what I look at now. Do those teams get better? Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's going to be a little bit better, but I think we're going to be really, if we take care of our business and do what we're supposed to do, we could be one of the top teams in the league.
SBC did have Lene on the second team. How important is she for your team's success?
I think she is. I think what's going to make her better is the fact that Brandy's coming back, and now you got, we'll play them both together. We'll have them on the wings and stuff. Both can score it, and they scored in kind of different ways. So I think having her back, and especially if she can get, she needs to get a little bit back healthy. With Brandy is healthy right now, and you're looking at some scoring. Mariah Stewart inside with Aston Jones. I think we're going to have some scoring there. And Tamara, I think we have more than just, those couple of players that last year we had, everybody went on. I mean, everything went through Lene pretty much. Now we have some other options and stuff like that. So I think pretty good. You got the Jalen James that can score it too. So we're going to have some scoring. It's just going to be how can we put that together and find the best, maybe 7 or 8 that we're going to use. And in the defense, I think we're getting better. I think they kind of convinced me to play a little bit more than just man to man that I've been doing for 40 years. And I think people are going to be surprised how good we're going to be defensively.
You mentioned Jasmine. The rest of the newcomer group, do you think anybody's ready to step up and do what you hope they'll do?
Yeah, I mean, we have some, it's like Yanaya Franklin's a freshman, 6'2". She's really a 4 player, but we're playing her at the 5 right now. If we need to play, we've always played a little bit smaller and stuff. And we saw that in Costa Rica. When we played small, we were very, very effective. We caused a lot of problems on the defensive side, which people were worried about trying to stop the post. But the post really doesn't get involved if you're pressuring the ball and turning them over and all that. And our turnovers were down. I mean, that's a big part of our defense is not turning over the ball. So, you got those 2 freshmen, and then you got Tamia Robinson that's coming in, and, hopefully, she'll be eligible to play. she's a next level point guard. Destiny Rice is as healthy as she's been in the 4 years or 3 years she's been with us. So, here's your point guard that can score too. So. We got some options, I always say, if we don't mess it up, coaches, we got to let them out there and let them play, and have some fun. And I think that's what you're going to see. It's going to be a fun group. We're going to lead the nation in celebration. I guarantee you that.
How critical will it be, Coach, to have Brandy back on the floor from a leadership perspective for you young talent?
Big time, big time. She led last year. She really was a leader in the locker room. We let her speak a lot of times pregame and stuff like that. We always into the one word type thing, and she took a lot of that upon. I kind of stepped back and let her kind of do some of that. So they were listening. Now she's on the court and doing the same thing. Probably even it's a lot easier now that she's standing in front of them on the court instead of, just in the locker room. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think she could be a great leader. Destiny Rice is a great leader, So when y'all hear me talk about her managing the games and all that, and her and Brandy together, it's almost unfair in practice when they're on the same team scrimmaging because they tough to stop.
Coach, you opened the season, November 6th here, coming up real quick. Just talk about kind of the schedule you guys are going to play and how you like that, what shakes out about that.
I think scheduling, that's a great question too. I think scheduling is extremely important. It's probably next to recruiting, It's like you got to schedule toward your, to what type of team you have and all that. So in November, we'll open up, and we go to Auburn. So we'll play a SEC team on November 9th. And then on the 12th, we have the MAC Challenge. We have Kent State coming in. But then the game that I think everybody's talking about is the December 10th game. We play the number one team, preseason team in the country, defending national champs, LSU, at LSU. So we're excited about that game, to see, you always want that benchmark. Sometimes you want to play the best team and, whether it's a close game or you get an idea, and I think we wake up our kids, and I think every kid in America now, when they play and they playing somebody that's really ranked high and stuff, they play harder. I think you get a lot more out of them, and you see some confidence in some of the things that you do, especially when you break down the film and stuff. So we're excited about that. And then the conference starts. When the conference starts, it's going to be a tough one, because we at home for the first game, then we go 4 games on the road, So it's going to be back and forth, and then I think in February we play another MAC team that we don't know about yet, so that'll be on the road too, So it's not an easy schedule, but I love our team and the direction we're going. So we just gonna put our head down and tread water and keep moving forward.
What's something you'd like to see from your team between now and tip off of the season?
I think I'd like to see a little bit more confidence in what we're doing, as far as shooting the ball and all that. I think that goes a long way, and I see like the returners are really, we got some kids that are early morning shooting and doing a lot of extra stuff, and they're getting a lot of confidence. We just need that from, maybe some of the kids that aren't doing those things, That's what I like to see, continue to work hard, taking care of our bodies and all that. So, turnovers down. We really did a great job in Costa Rica not turning the ball over. Sometimes in practice, like a Monday practice, we might turn it over a little bit more because of lack of focus and stuff. And the start, I think that's been our weakness for 12 years. When we start a game, sometimes we don't always start with that focus and stuff that we really need. And I think this team has that ability to come out and start from the beginning and finish it up till the end. So that's going to be a big part of us getting better.
Talking about Costa Rica, we saw last year with the men's program, they went away, and every time they seem to go away during the summertime or whatever, it builds a chemistry. Is that what it did for your team, or what did it do with regards to that camaraderie and maybe kind of giving you a little head start?
Yeah, it did exactly that, George. I think the biggest thing that I learned our kids even more off the court. I thought I knew them. I really did, because we were with them a lot. But, to spend those days and see all what went down, and to be on a catamaran or be away from basketball, not even near a court, and see what kind of people they are, and then I think they see that, coach can be a little bit of fun too, so it's, it brings that togetherness, we love one another. I think that's the biggest thing that being, I mean, I hate to say Cajun, but it's what I am, is we love people, man. And I think the biggest thing that people, they try to define us. And I think the biggest thing that I see is we trust, man. And I tell you, that's what I have right now in my team. They trust us. My coaches trust, one another. And I mean, Coach Deacon's with me for 12 years now. I mean, that's hard to find in college sports nowadays, where you have somebody that just stays with you and believes in what we're doing. And I think it's time, I think it's time to use those qualities that we have as Cajuns to win.